Welcome to the SparcStart TA Leader Series, where we talk to a variety of leaders who have innovative and perceptive ideas about the world of recruitment marketing, talent acquisition, and just employment in general. And today I'm thrilled to have a guest who is new to me. I'm delighted to get to know her. So Heather, let me ask you to go ahead and please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Heather Leszczewicz. I am the recruitment marketing manager for Conagra Brands based out of Chicago. So I focus on anything that's employer brand or recruitment marketing. And if you don't know Conagra, you probably do because you have at least one of our brands in your fridge or your pantry. So, Bird's Eye, Slim Jim, Ruddy Whip, Swiss Miss. We're part of a lot of people's days. And I'm happy to be here.
Great, thanks. And I'll tell you the way Heather came across our radar screen as one of the people on my team sat in a presentation she gave and came out and said, "This is great. We've got to talk to this person." So we're thrilled to discover you. And Heather, I get really interested because you're doing a lot of recruitment marketing to hourly. And I think a lot of people, when they're thinking recruitment marketing, are thinking more corporate roles, or they're thinking, oh, hourly, we're just going to advertise on job boards for them. We don't need to do anything special. No, they're not on social media. I don't know where that comes from, but we kind of hear that a lot. But that's something that you're really focused on. Can you talk a little bit about how you're approaching that and what you're doing differently for hourly than corporate roles?
Sure. So for hourly, we have manufacturing plants because we produce food. And, when I'm focusing on an hourly role, I want to make sure that we're talking about the benefits to the role because they could be working on a line or they could be working on machinery. And I want to make sure that we're telling them what the role is, so they're not getting in the door and going like, this isn't for me. So we want to talk through that because some of these are, they're working on a frozen line or they could be packaging one of our snack foods. And it's slightly different from a corporate audience because, we're putting up front, like, this is how much you can make per hour. Is this union or non-union, overtime, what else we can provide them in terms of benefits. And we really want to make sure that we're putting that forward so that they know what they're getting into.
It sounds like it's a very content heavy strategy, not so much everybody's friendly, we're a family, but more, here's what you're really going to do day in and day out. Is that fair?
Very fair. Yeah, so that's how, I'm working on recruitment marketing videos right now, and we're talking to people and like why they actually love what they do or what kind of impact they're making. And, I love hearing the stories about how they go to the grocery store and they see the food that we produce and they're like, I can tell people, beginning to end how we do that. And so that's a story that I love to tell. And, because we are producing different foods, I want to make sure that, there's a difference between, the happy, smiley people that you do see in recruitment marketing and employer brand imagery. I want to make sure you're seeing people on the line or you show them what food they could be producing, because that sort of is a lot easier to say like, oh, I'm going to be producing this product that will go into people's freezers or, they're going to eat for dinner and making sure that they know that.
Yeah, and making it tangible for them and really understandable. One of the things that we know from the research is that when you've got a well-educated candidate who really understands the role and can make a good decision to opt in or opt out because they really know what's involved, you end up with higher acceptance rates, longer retention. That having people come in who don't really get it doesn't really serve you well. You'd rather have people bow out up front before you've invested a lot in them. So once you create all this content, where are you distributing it? Where are you publishing it so it gets in front of the hourly candidate?
So some of them, it is social media. So it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it these days. But then also a lot of it is, flyers. It is word of mouth, referrals. And I've done things like billboards or signs that we post outside, large scale signs that we post outside in case someone's walking by or driving by.
Have you found TikTok to be effective with hourly?
Have not explored it just yet.
Okay.
But so we've been sticking to more of the traditional social media, even though I do love TikTok.
Yeah. Well, we were surprised. We were working with a client in transportation and hiring truck drivers by the hundreds and thousands. And it was all social media because they're on their phones all day, rarely sit down in front of a laptop computer. but absolutely anything designed for, for a mobile device worked absolutely incredibly. Very cool. So what else have you found in terms of, do you have an employee ambassador program? Is that part of your?
Part of it is talent brand ambassador programs that I have slightly started, but we're not fully there yet in terms of really engaging people that way. We do have ERGs, so employee resource groups that people join. So it's some of it is out in the community at career fairs. Some of it is just word of mouth.
That's the most efficient thing you can possibly do. Leslie, it's interesting. Your training and early career was all journalism, which is telling stories, and now you're telling a very different kind of story. What's been the biggest shift for you from being a journalist where it was your voice telling the story to now talking to employees? How is that different?
It's actually not different. And that's why I tell people, like, if you're looking for someone who knows content, who knows how to market something or write a piece of content or tell a story, talk to a journalist or hire a journalist in case, there are a lot of journalists that are looking for different work to get out of the newspaper biz or magazines and so forth. They can tell stories. And, when I was working on as a journalist, it was more of hyper-local journalism. So I am telling the stories or letting people tell their stories to me that are just like local community. And so flipping over to company stories and employee stories isn't that much different. And, I think that's one of the things that I love about this job is that it's like still using the skills that I honed for 10 plus years as a journalist and went to school for it. But it's just which stories I'm telling right now is just related to work.
Yeah. And yeah, I have to admit, I wish more people had either your background or your perspective. We see so often employees are scripted or handed a script to read, or told, we've determined these 3 phrases are critical to us. Please work them into your remarks. And if that's not part of their natural language or even not part of their experience or how they'd express it, you lose all the credibility that you could have. But you learned that from a journalism background. You can't put words in their mouth and then turn around and report it as a story. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. So you've been at this for a long time. What tips let's assume I hope they're not leaving newspapers because we desperately need our newspaper journalists. But let's assume they're transitioning over from some form of journalism, in part to make a living wage, which is probably why most of them are switching over. What advice would you give them?
Continue to hone the skills. Like I still stick to the AP style book in my day-to-day, but it's also just like don't stop telling stories. Like ask the questions and see what answers you get. You're right. I don't prefer scripting anyone. I'd rather they just tell me what they're going to say, and if I can ask many questions of someone and see what they have to say, and continue to hone skills. Like the world is changing in terms of how you tell a story. So it could be video, it could be testimonials, it could be a blog article. Like that's not that much different from journalism. You're telling a story, so continue to do that. And I think it's making community as well. Like you're making a community at work, but you can also make a community within the industries. I still talk to my journalism friends. There's a bunch that have ended up in marketing and communications, and it is transferable skills. So know what your skills are.
And I love the fact that you understand that the kind of content you're producing for hourly is different, that you do think about who is your audience and really gear information that's valuable and critical to them and not try to brush them all with one broad stroke. So wonderful. I think, Heather, I could sit and talk to you all afternoon, but I want to be respectful of your time and to all the folks who have tuned in. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the time and the thought, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future. Thanks so much.
Thank you.